Hello random people of the internet, it's Creepy, in a good way. And I want to talk about my favorite movie of all time.
Deadpool,
Titanic,
The Princess Bride,
Avatar. No, but I am going to be talking about the animated film,
Frozen,
Moana,
Howl's Moving Castle,
Shrek. Stop guessing! I'm going to be talking about the animated film, Anastasia. But before I do, I want you all to turn on your cameras so I can talk about the Grand Duchess Anastasia Nikolaevna Romanov. On July 17, 1918, Tsar Nicholas II was killed along with the rest of his family, starting the Russian Revolution and several decades of communism. Rumors began to spread about the possibility that the youngest daughter Anastasia had survived. This led to several women claiming to be the lost princess, but
Grandma, it's me, Anastasia.
they were all imposters. It wasn't until 1991 when the bodies of the Romanov family were discovered, but only the bodies of Nicholas, his wife Alexandria, and possibly his 3 older daughters. Until they found the 2 remaining bodies, this became one of the greatest mysteries in the 20th century. In fact, the idea of Anastasia's survival made its way to the big screen in movies such as this one from 20th Century Fox. The 1956 film was based off a play inspired by the famous Anastasia imposter Anna Anderson.
Yes, I know.
You know or you remember?
Ironically, this would serve as the base for the anime adaptation decades later. Fast forward to 1994. Fox wanted to have their own animation division and have these 2 guys produce the first animated film from that studio. Originally, the idea was to do an adaptation of My Fair Lady. Then the idea of Anastasia came to the table. Though it was an odd choice for a kids movie, at the time, the whereabouts of the Russian princess was still a mystery, and they decided to go with it. The movie was released in 1997, and it did pretty well. The budget for the film was $50 million, and it made almost triple the amount at the box office. Critics praised the animation, comparing it to the style of Disney. No surprise there. The film wasn't historically accurate, but it was charming and entertaining nonetheless. Okay, enough history. Let's talk about this movie. The story follows the journey of Anya, an orphan who is trying to reconnect with her family, and the only clue she has is Paris. Meanwhile, 2 con men, Dmitri and Vladimir, are looking for a young woman to portray the lost princess Anastasia in hopes to trick her grandmama for a reward.
I knew you were crazy from the beginning, but now I think you are both mad.
Oh, and there's this crazy man named Rasputin who's trying to kill Anya because, spoiler alert, she's the real Anastasia.
And the last of the Romanovs will die!
From there, you get historical fiction / romantic comedy / musical, and I, obviously, love it. But what makes this movie so great? Well, to me, that is.
Who knows? Shh.
For starters, it's not a Disney movie, and it never will be. Even though it's on Disney+. Anastasia has a bit of maturity to it, and at some points, it's a little dark and grim, which if you look back at any Don Bluth film, they're all pretty dark and grim. The characters were made up by an all-star cast, and they did a great job. My favorite scene from the movie is the train scene. It's one of the most memorable scenes to me because of how well the characters interact with one another.
And to think that could have been you.
If we live through this, remind me to thank you.
Also, there's the part where Anya bitch slaps Dmitri.
Hey.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were someone else. Oh, it's you. Well, that's okay then.
Another scene I like was when they arrived at the opera. Anya is on top of the stairs in this slim navy blue dress. The camera scrolls up her body and Dmitri is staring at her in awe. And later, Anya bitch slaps Dmitri again. Oh, and who wouldn't forget the lovable Bat Bartok? Though he may not be popular nowadays, you know, because of COVID-19.
Oh, sure, blame the bat. What the heck, where is she target?
The last thing that I'm going to talk about is the music. Anastasia received 2 Oscar nominations in the music department, and in 2016, the movie was adapted into a Broadway show. I mean, it truly feels like a classic Broadway show. I love the song Journey to the Past. It's an uplifting and hopeful song about being wanted. It's literally the Let It Go of the 90s.
Or how the world can see
And then there is Once Upon a December, which is this haunting tune, almost like a memory, playing throughout the movie. If you watch the ballroom scene with all the ghosts coming out of the portraits, it's very chilling.
Across my memory.
This movie plays an important role in my life. Anastasia was the first movie I saw in theaters when I was 3 years old, and the movie I watched repeatedly as a kid. It's one of the reasons I wanted to be not only an animator, but a storyteller. Sadly, the remaining bodies were found, and it was confirmed that no one survived that night. Though it's not historically accurate, this movie is a classic from the 90s, and in my eyes, a masterpiece. A bit biased, don't you think? Whatever.
Hey guys, look what I found in the garage.